I'm Charlie Finding.
I'm Sarah Baker.
My name is Jo Pascoe.
My name's Elaine Wallace.
I'm Rachel Kidd and I'm studying the BA HONS costume construction.
The level of detail and the level of preciseness that you can accumulate in skills in such a short amount of time. I came to this course with virtually no formal skills, no formal training, been a cosplayer for about 8 years at that point. It's elevated my work in such a short period of time, and I never thought that I could be making to the level that I am now. That's what excites me.
Well, in previous life I was making and hiring costumes, and in quite a small way, and then COVID came along and there wasn't the need for it for a few years, and I saw this advertised on Facebook of all places. Thought it looked interesting, especially as it's affiliated to the Royal Opera House. That piqued my interest. I wasn't really sure about it, but my family said go for it, so I did, and they accepted me, and here I am.
I've always loved sort of sewing and making things. I like building things, I like doing woodwork, I like doing any kind of crafty things with my hands. I think with COVID and lockdown, it was just like, right, well, life's too short, and let's go and do something about it so I don't wonder. And also it's a good thing to show my daughters that if you love something, go do it.
Well, we'd just been called back to start working in the office again, and I didn't want to do that. So I was thinking of different options, and this course was advertised. I'd previously done in fashion, pattern cutting, construction design, that kind of thing, but I hadn't done it to degree level. And part of me really wanted to achieve a degree. As a mature student, I thought it's now or never really. I just wanted the satisfaction of achieving a degree.
The course has really helped me in terms of boosting my confidence, especially with my making and hand finishing of a costume. I really now absolutely love hand stitching and making the inside of a costume look as beautiful as the outside. But then equally I love the textiles and embellishments that come with making a costume, and I've learnt that through these creative choices that I have the freedom to make on the course, I'm able to really tell the story of the character, which I really love.
So many opportunities. We do have a work placement unit where we actually get an opportunity to go and do work experience at the Royal Opera House, which is not something that many people in this field of work get to do, is to work with the absolute sort of professionals that are famed around the world, even just for a week. We've even worked with Kinetica, which is a production company on the same lot here at High House, to help with the costumes for the Queen's Jubilee Parade last year. But aside from the opportunities that are handed to you, there's also opportunities that you feel inclined to chase after, because they give you the confidence, they give you the skills and ways to talk to people that really inspire you to say, hey, there's this company that I really like, I'm going to contact them.
Well, the main things for me, because obviously I had a certain skill base to start with, was building on that. We've had opportunities for pattern cutting, which was one thing. I'm self-taught pattern cutter, so to learn new skills and new ways of pattern cutting was brilliant, and I'm now really confident in that. And the other thing was tailoring for me. Never done tailoring in my life. Didn't think I'd ever be able to. We did tailoring. I've now made a tailcoat and the Dior coat behind me, both with tailoring techniques, so really happy with that. Learned a lot.
Personally, that I'm not as boring as maybe I thought I was. And I do have something creative to offer. My world had always been from other people that, sewing is very much a hobby and it's a sort of very quaint thing to do. But actually, no, it's not. It's something really important and interesting and complicated and difficult and challenging. And I think the course has sort of helped me see that and believe that, and also find a way through it. And I enjoy the problem solving aspect of it, and I suppose it's given me more tools to actually solve those problems and figure things out, whether that's sort of trying a new technique or going off myself and trying another technique, and that I can marry the skills I had before, so sort of the research and the sort of writing, with the more creative side of things, and just be me, I guess.
Because of my previous training in fashion with pattern cutting and everything like that, the course has took that knowledge further, and I've learned the differences between producing a costume and producing something that's for everyday wear. Like the way a costume is constructed and its uses is completely different.
One of the most crucial things in like the turning point in me learning how to really make a costume well is probably the access we have to the Royal Opera House stores. Just having hands-on time with all of these costumes that have been made by the Royal Opera House have really informed how I make as a maker, and just really given me a really high personal standard to work towards, because I can go and look at one of those costumes and be like, how have they done that technique, or how have they done that seam? So learning how a costume works rather than just an everyday piece of clothing is something that's really helped.
Well, being on the course and learning so much and meeting so many people doing interesting things, it's really built on my confidence in my ability, not my confidence as a person, but in my ability to make costumes, and that I can actually do it, and I can pattern cut and it fits at the end. Also, it's just given me wonderful opportunities. 2 weeks work experience at the Royal Opera House. I got to work with Connecticut on the Platinum Jubilee Parade, one of the costumes, and I actually got to go on the parade as well itself. I was walked down the mall with them. So it's been a wonderful experience, and yeah, my confidence now going out into the industry is much higher than when I came into it.
I think in a number of ways they've helped improve my confidence, because they take the time to listen when I ask 1,000 questions. They will listen, and it's just nice to feel that it's an important question. If you know, any question is an important question. They've helped confidence-wise that way, but also linking us to their contacts where they've previously worked, through the people they know at the Royal Opera House and the National, has sort of really opened some doors for some interesting conversations about things like that I'm interested in, like sustainability and things like that. So yeah, it's just open doors really.
I've been surprised by the marks that I've got at the end of each unit when I've handed them in. I think that's good, but I'm not sure if it's good. And then having, feedback to let me know that it has been good, and that I think I've really consistently worked at a similar level all the way through, that has been a real confidence boost. And now the costumes in the final year I can see, are of a lot better standard than maybe they were in the beginning. But yeah, I think just achieving a good standard of grades and getting the feedback to justify that.
So I've been dressing, and I've also been doing a wardrobe assistant role, and doing these while studying at university has definitely been a challenge on my time management, but I think I've got there. But also having the knowledge of how a costume works beyond the workroom where I'm making it has really helped me grow on this course, and knowing that my sewing is important for a lot of other people down the line.
Probably disbelief. It's one of those things where you never really believe in yourself, and even throughout the course there's been so many times where the self-doubt has crept up, and you just think, everybody else is so amazing, maybe I'm not good enough to be here. But then you get the feedback from your tutors, you look at what you've done, and you think, you know what, I do deserve to be here, I do belong here, I'm passionate about it, this is what I love doing, and that should be what keeps you where you are. You do things because you love those things, and that is what drives me to keep going with this.
Because I love the history of costumes and historical costumes, among others, I think that my younger self would look at them and maybe find them slightly boring, but as I got older I'd understand them more and realise, I think my costumes have more inside than outside in some ways. Having said that, the Cinderella dress that I've made, has that stunning wow factor, and the fact that you actually rip off the outside clean as clothes, and you have this stunning dress. Even I went, so I think, yes, I think my younger self would be quite wowed by that.
Giddy. very giddy. I actually see it in my children when I'm at home working with stuff, and like with the backpack and stuff like that. They come into the room and you gauge their reaction, and they're just like, their eyes light up, and it's the sort of a belief that anything is possible.
I'd like to think that they were taken in by the costumes. They really felt that their costumes were the part that they were. I'd like to think that they would like them.
I think they'd say, wow, like, that is really cool. And I think looking back now at that 6-year-old, I'd say that they should be really proud of themselves, and that what do I need to do to be able to make costumes like that? Because I'd look back and think, wow, they're really good, and like, how have they done that? And I think from everything I've learnt on this course, I think I've achieved the knowledge of knowing how things are made and how to hopefully have someone look at my work and go, wow, that looks really cool.